When we said we want to hold Wall Street accountable, he said no. When we said that kids who were sick ought to be able to see a doctor, he said no. When we said we want to end our addiction to foreign oil, he said no. When we worked to get small businesses credit so they could hire again, he said no. And the bill that I just talked to you about that makes sure that your student loan comes before banks and you can go to school, he said no. In fact, you know, the only time that he said yes was when the tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans came up. Then he had his hand up, and he had his arms held out wide open. He said he was going to help the tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans and hold hostage the tax cuts for middle-class families and small businesses who are trying to get this country back on track. To that, I say no. I think we deserve better than a one-word answer to every problem. We deserve better than D, no. But the truth is, this election is more than about me or Dino Rossi or even Barack Obama. This election is about you. This is an election where we either choose to move forward, to continue tackling head-on the big problems that face us, or we choose to go backward, to undo all that work that we have done, to shrink from the big tasks that we still have in front of us, and to return to those tired economic policies that the Bush administration landed in our lap. To that, I say no. Washington State, born and raised. I know our state. I love the people in this state, and I know that in this state we move forward. In our state, we get the job done, and then we ask, what's next? In this state, we innovate, we invent, and we meet every challenge because we want to lead. My opponent wants to go back to the 3 R's, and those aren't the 3 R's that you're learning here at the UW. His 3 R's are repeal, rewind, and retreat. Mr. President, I think we got several thousand people here who don't agree with that. November 2nd is coming up, and it's an important date for our state. You need to be out there making sure that all the people who couldn't get in this stadium today are doing what I'm going to tell you to do, and that's get that ballot out and fill it in and send it in. Don't let it be sitting on your desk or in your backpack or stuffed away in your locker. Go find it when you get out of here and fill it in and mail it in and find somebody else who hasn't mailed it in and get those ballots in. That's how we're going to win. And I know you're going to be at mine, and we will continue to move forward with leadership from this state. And today, I am so proud that a great friend of mine is here with us. There is no one that fights harder for you. There's no one that's done more to energize young people in this state. He that 2008 was an election about the future. And he knows that if we want 2010 to be about the future, you have to go out and vote again. Let's make 2010 a vote for the future as well. I have the wonderful opportunity of seeing this president at work. He is not afraid of the challenges that come before us. He is honest with us about what they are. He has a true vision for the future of this country, and we're going to keep taking this country down that road. Please join me in welcoming the President of the United States, President Barack Obama.
Hello, Huskies. Thank you. Give it up for Patty Murray. Back in Seattle. It is great to be back in the state of Washington. We've got some great friends here that I want to make sure everybody acknowledges. The governor, Chris Gregoire, is here. Representative Jim McDermott is in the house. Representative Norm Dix is here. Representative Jay Inslee is here. King County Executive Dow Constantine is here. And your great United States Senator Patty Murray is in the house. I love you back. When this state sent Patty to the Senate, she wasn't one of those lifelong politicians who wanted the job for the fancy title or the nice office. She was the mom in tennis shoes who was just looking to help a few people and solve a few problems. All these years later, that's exactly what she has done. That's exactly what she's done. She's helped a lot of people. She solved a lot of problems. And now she needs our help so she can keep on fighting for you in the United States Senate. And Washington, you know Patty Murray. You know what she's made of. You've seen her go to bat to keep Boeing jobs and aerospace jobs right here in Washington. You've seen her fight for clean energy jobs and new infrastructure jobs. You've seen her fight to make sure that this nation keeps faith with our veterans because it is a sacred trust. This is a senator who still flies across the country every weekend to come home. When we were in the Senate together, I used to think, poor Patty. I got my little hour-and-a-half flight to Chicago. And she had a longer way to go, but she knew how important it was to come home and listen to the cares and concerns of her constituents. That's the kind of leader you need at a time like this. Somebody who knows your lives. So look, if you haven't already voted for Patty Murray, let me be clear. You need to go right after this rally, fill out that ballot, and mail it in today. Not tomorrow, not the next day, but today. Let's get this done. Let's get Patty Murray back into the United States. Look, we need you fired up. We need you fired up, Seattle. Because in just a few days, your decision in this election is going to set the direction of this state and of this country for years to come. And there are a lot of folks out there in Washington, D.C., not in Washington State, but in Washington, D.C., who are saying, you know what, it can't be done. Just like they said in 2008. You can't, what they're saying is that you can't say no to the special interests, that you can't overcome the cynicism in politics, that you can't overcome the millions of dollars in negative ads, that you can't elect a black guy with a funny name, Barack Obama. What we cannot do. And you just keep on coming back and saying, yes, we can. No, let's be honest. There's no doubt this is a difficult election. And it's because we have been through an incredibly difficult time as a nation. And it didn't just happen a year ago or 2 years ago. For most of the last decade, middle-class families saw their incomes fall. Between 2001 and 2009, which corresponds to when the Republicans were in charge, middle-class incomes families fell. Job growth was actually more stagnant than any time since World War II. Jobs were disappearing overseas, and meantime, the cost of everything from health care to college tuition were going up. There were too many parents who couldn't afford to send their kids to college. Too many people who couldn't afford to go see a doctor when they got sick. Too many Americans working 2, 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And then all these problems culminated in the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We lost 4 million jobs